Hey, good morning, everyone. I just want to tell people something, real quick. Um, it's hard making these videos every day. Um, Even if you're not editing, or any of that, if you don't know how to do that, just talking is hard. You know, you're trying to find people that are relating to you, whether it's struggling, whether it's positive vibes, things like that. And they make you feel almost embarrassed, um, to put yourself out there, that you're struggling. You know, they've they've created a system where when even when we try hard, right, and we continue, and we keep trying, and when things are not in our control, like you lose a job, you lose a place to live, um they make you feel embarrassed, like, uh say you pay into the system your whole life, right, and then when you need it, if you try to go get that help, they make you feel they make you feel like you did something wrong. You know, um, Here in New York State, you know, shoot, man, if you were working your whole life and you try to get help from the system that you paid into, it's like they almost want your soul. You know, they make you feel like you're a piece of crap, that your job shut down, um, or you got evicted from a landlord because she wanted to, slumlords, um, or if the landlord just wanted to sell the house. It don't even have to be the fact that it was a slumlord. Not everyone's a slumlord. My situation was just bad. 6 years of being out of place, and you know, uh, the lady not wanting to fix things, and her connections in that small town. You know, so they make you feel bad for things like that. Um, and it just sucks because you pay into the system your whole life. You know, and when you do need the help, they either don't give it to you, or they make you just not want it. Like, so I grew up on the system, you know, and then I paid into it, um, and anyone that lives in New York, what's been happening the last couple of years, man. You know, uh, if you weren't born here, you get a 5-star hotel, you know, uh, and you and I had to pay for it, you know. But now that you need the help, you can't get the help. No, you can't. I can't, you know, which is crazy to me. So, why are we even paying into the system? Like, why are we struggling so much? The only reason we're struggling is because we're paying into this system that is supposed to help us out when we need the help. Tell me. Because us who paid into it, and when we finally need the help, we don't get the help. We don't get it, you know. And there's people out there that need help. The retirement, age, they kept pushing back, right? And then at one time they said there was no social security left for people. Where'd it go then? Where'd it go? How come no one is ever held accountable? You know, It's like, you gotta love that slogan, right? No one's above the law. Yet you see one of these people that are up here get in trouble, right? They walking out that courtroom, with one of their buddies, at that level. Me or you, we can't pay our car insurance, man. We lose our livelihoods. Our livelihoods. It's crazy, y'all. It's crazy. I'm telling you. But it's rough. What happened to me is rough. It's sinking in. And I'm type man. I try to stay grounded for my family. I don't like them seeing me, like hurt. You know what I mean? Like, but it sucks as a man, knowing that, like, you and I'm sure, women, you might feel the same too. When you're trying, you're working, you're doing everything, and you're exhausted. You don't get to see your kids or anything because you're working so much, and then everything raises up, and the only answer society has for you is, well, get another job. How there ain't no other jobs. It's hard to find one job, and not even only that, like, so you tell me that we're supposed to use our whole lives to work to not see our families, to not enjoy what we're spending 40 to 80 hours a week doing, when you got people that got so many houses that if you ask them how many houses they own, they'll be like, I don't know. I seen that. That guy whose list they won't put out there. That one dude, Steve Bannon, asked him, you know how many houses you own? He goes, no, I have no clue. It's crazy because try to get a 2-bedroom apartment in New York. Like, try, man. Try. It's you'll be lucky to get one for $2,000. And we're talking about the slums. But hey, man, I guess that's just the way it is, and that's the way it's always going to be, because there's no accountability for those that are up here. We've let it get too big, too out of control. But I guess the only thing we can do as people that are down here is just keep supporting each other. The more we support each other, the bigger we become. And that's the big issue, is that they made it so we don't support each other. So we feel alone. But with me, you're not alone, man. If you've been on my page, I hit you back as soon as I can. I try to keep my word the best I can. You sub to me, I sub back to you. I think the more people that do that for each other, just support each other, I think, we can make something. Like, you gotta show the love back. That's just me anyways. If you show me love, I'm gonna show love back. But hey, man, I appreciate y'all, and I want y'all to keep your heads up, and if you need help, and these places make you feel like crap, no, you ain't, man. No, you ain't. You just, there's more of us out here struggling, that we're trying to do the right thing, that have paid into these systems, our whole lives. You know, but you're not crap. You're not crap. All right. So don't let them think you that. Don't let them tell you that you are. You know, and you got to find what's most important in life as well. I'm finding the more stuff you collect, the harder it is to move on. Meaning like, you know, do you really need this thing at this moment? Because you don't know what's gonna happen. So when you lose that thing, you feel so attached to it, but it really don't mean as much as you think it does. You know what I'm saying? Like, so try to keep everything to a necessity level. Now your necessity might not be the same as my necessity, but food, shelter, clothing, things like that. And yes, you should be able to enjoy, other things in life, but we got to get stable first. We got to get stable because otherwise you're going to collect a bunch of stuff that you're going to lose. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling y'all. And I promised I'd always keep it real and speak from my experience. But, hey man, look, like I say, it's a struggle. Last night I was blessed. I was able to get, my family up in a hotel, and then today's another day. Take it day by day. Try not to worry about a month from now. Us people that are out here trying, all we have is today. So keep pushing. You're worth it. Don't let these people make you feel like you're not. You got this. Love y'all, man. Peace out.